It's as simple as this. Unknown, undefined experience that's sort of experience it itself. If you want to live that consciously, then you gotta look at what you are believing right now. Once you see through the illusion that you are someone separate from the thoughts, once you see through the illusion that you are someone in charge of the thoughts, controlling the thoughts, making choices, once you see through that illusion, you're awake. You're awake. Love sipping my coffee. Are you awake or not? Simple question. What do you think? Do you think you're awake right now? Or do you think it's something that's going to happen in the future? I want you to know that whatever the experience you have in your mind about how awakening is going to be, what's going to give you, what things about yourself are going to change, what things about how you relate to other people, how you live your life, your situations, your circumstances, how all of that is going to be different. It's just an idea. And now I gotta fall into the cliche and I gotta tell you to think about the possibility that you are awake right now. How does it hit for you? Where does it hit? What part of your mind is trying to fight this claim that you are already awake? It might be a thought saying, how the fuck am I gonna be awake? If I were awake, I would be, or this experience would be XYZ. Or it might be like, if I were awake, then I wouldn't be feeling this sadness that's here with me right now. I wouldn't be feeling this fear about, I don't know, this job interview that I'm gonna be having in a couple of days. Or if I were awake, then I should be in bliss, I don't know how to say that in English. Like I would be feeling bliss all the time. Well, whatever the thought is saying, that's just a belief. And that's the only thing that if you really want to wake up, which you already are, that if you really want to live your life consciously in the knowing of this unknown, undefined experience that's sort of experience it itself, if you want to live that consciously, then you gotta look at what you are believing right now. What are your thoughts about this? Not because once you are awake, you're not gonna be having thoughts. That's not what I mean. Because some people say or try to pretend or strive forward, they pretend like once you're awake, you're gonna be having thoughts. Like your mind is gonna be in place all the time and it's gonna be contentless. Well, that's not going to happen for the most part, as far as I know. In my experience, it's not like that. For the most people that I know who are awake and even have a deeper realization that the experience that I'm having right now, it's not like that. Thoughts keep happening. The thing that you want to find out is, for whom are they happening? You know, awakening can happen in very different ways for different type of conditionings. for different type of people, if you will. But one thing is very clear, and that is that the freedom that it comes with awakening, or with the first shift, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but with the first shift, what happens is that person that was thought to be at the center of the experience of thoughts is revealed to have never happened. It's just a thought. It's just not a thought. That's why I'm pointing to your beliefs. That's why I'm saying, if you have an idea about what awakening is going to give you, how good you're going to feel once you are awake, once you are enlightened, which is a different thing. And that's, for me, the way I'm talking about awakening is a different thing that I will be talking about. That the thing I will be talking about, enlightenment. I don't know about enlightenment, but some people call it enlightenment to the no self experience, the final thing when it comes to seeking and finding, and it's just reality unfiltered, completely anatta, they say in traditional Buddhism. But awakening for me is like the first awakening, like awakening in consciousness. You know what they say, that you first wake up in the head, then you wake up in the heart, then you wake up in the gut. At least I've heard, I think it's Adyashanti talk about this way. Maybe some other people, I don't know, I don't really know, right? Just don't remember right now. But one thing is for certain, and that is that the freedom that you're going to be experiencing comes from the freedom in thought. Once you wake up, you realize there was never someone solid in the experience apart from the thoughts. So once you, and I say you now because I gotta talk somehow. And yes, yeah, like language is dualistic. Like language presupposes there's someone right there, and there's someone here talking to you right now, as if you and I are different people. It appears to be like that. It's just not like that. So the freedom I'm talking about is the freedom to really experience anything that has to be experienced with less and less and less resistance. And specifically when it comes to the first shift, it is about the experience of thought being experienced by the very nature of the thought. The experience of thought has a texture, it has a feeling, if you will. It's not a feeling, it's not a thing, but if I ask you right now, are you conscious right now? Are you conscious? Are you conscious? So if you're not dead right now, you might say, yes, I'm conscious. And you might mean that, yeah, I'm aware of that things are happening, so I'm conscious, I'm here, I'm experiencing a me. Okay, perfect. So if you're conscious right now, you are being conscious of something, right? You're being conscious of something. Don't lie to me. Yeah, maybe you're just, I don't know, so stoned you are almost unconscious. Great. But even then, you're conscious. Okay. So you're conscious right now. You're conscious of your environment. You're conscious of my voice. You're conscious of my beautiful face. You're conscious of a shit ton of things right now, right? Now, are you conscious as well of you? That little entity, that you feel like you are right now inside the body. Are you conscious of that, right? I'm asking, are you conscious of that? If your answer is yes, I'm conscious of myself, then how the fuck is it gonna be a separation between the thing that is not a thing, but that's being conscious, and you're saying you're two things. You're saying I am conscious of me. So where exactly are you looking at you? Oh fuck, it cannot be possible. It cannot. Yes, it cannot be possible. So maybe that thing you're calling you, that entity, that feeling, it's an energetic thing. Maybe it's an amalgam of feelings and sensations, the back of your head, maybe behind your eyes, maybe your chest. That's glued to a thought that says, yeah, there's someone here. But if you really look into your experience right now, all you're going to find is thoughts and then five senses. But at the same time, you're still here. So if you're not the thoughts and you're not the senses, what the fuck are you? No, but yes, I'm the body. Well, isn't that a thought? Doesn't it sound like a thought? Very well, my friend. That is exactly right. That is a thought. That is a thought. The seemingly person that lives life apart from the thoughts and the senses, it's just a thought. Does it mean you don't exist? Or, well, yeah, you don't exist for the most part, but does it mean that there are no thoughts? No, yes, there are thoughts. Does this imply there is no feeling about a me experiencing thoughts? No, that's not what I'm saying. In my experience and in your experience, there is the appearance of a self right now that's in charge of the thoughts. But that feeling, that very sensation that's glued to the belief or a thought that, yes, I am an entity operating, controlling, in charge of this life, that is the very thing that it just falls. And once you see through this illusion, you're awake. It's as simple as this. Once you see through the illusion that you are someone separate from the thoughts, once you see through the illusion that you are someone in charge of the thoughts, controlling the thoughts, making choices, once you see through that illusion, you're awake. You're awake. And that's why when I say, even though it's a cliche because so many people say this way, especially the radical non-dualist, but they are obviously right. Not because they have thought about it, yeah, we're right. Oh no, let's put it this way. No, because this is what it is. This is what it is. Everything that you experience after awakening, you realize it happens outside mind, outside a point of view somehow. And it's just as simple as that. That's why even if you now are having, I don't know, a glimpse or even the full awakening thing, it's not it doesn't mean that you were not awake before this. We're just calling being awake and awakening to the very fact that you are experiencing this truth consciously without the mind. And it goes on and it's very interconnected to everything. It is not like just thoughts and not separation with thoughts. The more you dig into this, you realize like it's fucking everything. Like there is not a single thing apart from itself, I guess. I don't know how to put it. Once you experience consciousness for what it is, which is contentless. It's like you have the five senses and then you have consciousness. And in consciousness, every piece of content that comes up, it's just a mere expression of itself. It's a mere expression of consciousness, because the experience of consciousness has no content. It's like the it is like the electricity. If you connect your PS5 or your computer to the current, then you start playing a video game, right? Well, you're playing a video game, and that's content. But the very thing that in the first place makes it possible for the video game to appear, I guess, on the screen for you to play the video game is the electricity. And no one is seeing the electricity, right? It has no content. It's just running. The current of electricity is running, and then it goes into the computer, it goes into the TV screen, it goes into your control remote, it goes into everything. And once it's running, it can produce content along with other things. This is just a metaphor, okay? Don't jump at me and say, oh yeah, and what about, I don't know, I don't want to get into this, but like this, you know what I mean, right? So once you realize that the experience of consciousness is an empty, radiant experience, it's self-validating. You're gonna realize you don't need a thought to confirm you are here, which, when you experience this, reveals as you were never the person, but the person is just a bunch of thoughts, a pattern of behavior, the content that appears from the void, from the not manifested, from the, I don't know, I'm just using words that I hear other people say that are more realized than I am, and they seem to be good pointers. They help me, and hopefully this helps you too. Yeah, see you. Thank you for watching.